All right. What's up, everybody? Yusuf here with Jiu-Jitsu Mag. And today we're here with 13-time Jiu-Jitsu world champion and rising MMA star, Marcus Buchecha Almeda, who's facing undefeated fighter Kang Ji Won on December 3rd at One Winter Series in Singapore. How are you, Buchecha, man?
Very good, very good. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for doing this. Um, let's get this started, man. Like, how's the training going?
Going really good. One more camp, being great. Just one more week left. Just a couple more training sessions to go and ready to travel, ready to fight. So feeling good.
Where are you training? Where do you do your
I'm
fight?
training at, I train full time at American Top Team here in Florida.
Okay, so why did you pick ATT?
Actually, I represent American Top Team and Evolve MMA
Mhm.
from Singapore. But here I pick it here because for me to find heavyweights is really hard. And I was in California, so I was having a really hard time to find heavyweights. And when I came here for the first time, it was on Monday, and I saw like 10 heavyweights in a in the training in the middle of the session. So I realized that here was a good place for me to stay because of the number of the heavyweights.
Okay. And so I know you've been training the whole day, man. Like you're going through hard training camp. When are you like planning to fly out to Singapore? Like, are you gonna train at Evolve there to finish your camp, or is your camp gonna be finished before you go?
No, actually, I'm leaving on the 26th or
Mm-hmm.
the 20, yeah, I think 26. So, no, actually, there we're gonna arrive there Saturday night, if I'm not wrong. So then just a couple of days to recover, and that's it, pretty much.
Okay. And you're not worried about like the time change, like the jet lag?
No, man, it is what it is, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we have to face with the situation. So of course, uh, it's something that different than just fight here in America, but I'm used to that. You always used to competing in Abu Dhabi, so it was like a lot of. Actually, from California to Abu Dhabi was 12 hours. So from here to Singapore, if I'm not wrong, it was like 14. So I'm used to that.
Okay. Man, good luck. Let's get to the exciting questions now. Um, Look, man, you are a huge superstar in the jiu-jitsu world. We all know you, we all watch you, like, but now you're like in this new world of mixed martial arts. And people, like, there are still a lot of people that don't know you. And now going into this fight, like, do you feel like more pressure, like representing jiu-jitsu and like representing like the old crowd and like prove yourself that you can do this? Or like now that you have to reintroduce yourself to the new crowd, like, hey, this is Buchecha, this is me, and I'm here to like to conquer. Like, where do you feel like more pressure, and how do you deal with that?
And be honest, I don't care about that at all because, of course, I carry like I have the support of all the jiu-jitsu community, but that's not the reason. I'm not fighting for them. I'm not fighting for the MMA fans. I'm fighting because I choose to do that. That's something that the challenge that is driving me to do something new in my life. I don't have anything else to prove in jiu-jitsu, so I want to test myself in MMA because I think the real fighter that's all about. I fought in the gi, I fought in no gi. Now I'm fighting MMA, so it's all about it's all challenging myself. I'm not doing this for others. After I realized that the reasons that I fight for the right reasons, everything started going good. So if I'm
Mhm.
fighting for someone, it's like in the end of the day will be a wrong reason for me.
And does it feel different though to fight in MMA than to compete in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, for sure, it's really different. But it's something that I always wanted to feel, like how how excited I would be, how nervous. So was something that I always want to feel, but definitely it's really different. But I like that. The adrenaline is something that
Mhm.
drives me. So I was missing it because last time that I felt that was 2019 fighting in Jiu-Jitsu. So I like the feeling. So I think I'm addicted to that.
So when you had your first fight, like what was going through your mind back then? And like now you're going into your second fight, your opponent is undefeated. He has 5 knockouts. Like, what's your mentality going into that fight? Like, and do you also feel like less pressure now that you have like your last, like that you have your first win in the cage?
I think the first win was good to for me to feel that. So now I think most of the pressure uh, it's off. Of course, I will feel a lot of pressure, but at least it's not going to be the first time doing it. So I think I'll deal with that better now. But pressure, it's something that I'm always going to feel for sure. If I don't feel that, I think there is no reason to fight. So, but of course, it's something that I have to control, and I think the jiu-jitsu experience gave me that a lot. So I try to translate that experience that I have to compete in jiu-jitsu. I try to translate that to use in my MMA debut, and it worked really well. So just like a feeling that you have to deal with that. Yeah, you know, it's never gonna go away. So it's better you be good with that than hate it. So then would be makes everything much harder.
So what's your game plan for this fight?
And I'm training a lot here. Like I'm having the best coaches. Like my striking coach, Catel Cubes, my wrestling coach, Steve Moko, my jiu-jitsu coach, Leonardo Vieira, Leozinho,
Mhm.
my conditioning coach, Diego Lacerda. They got me ready for any situation. So if I have to fight 15 minutes,
Mhm.
I'm ready for that. But of course, as a jiu-jitsu fighter, I want to finish the fight before that. So the game plan is to win. So fight wherever it takes. If I can get a submission, awesome. But if not, I have to be ready to fight in every aspect of the fight.
Mhm. And like you just said, like now, like it is not jiu-jitsu anymore, and you're training all these different styles, and you said you always wanted to fight MMA. Like, do you feel like you're becoming a more complete martial artist?
Yeah, 100%. Because I always want to train striking, learn Muay Thai, boxing, but I always had like, I don't want to spend energy because I'm training so much jiu-jitsu and I want to save my energy to train more jiu-jitsu because I was fighting. But now I have to do this. So, and I'm really enjoying the game, enjoying the ride. I'm learning MMA, like the game, boxing, Muay Thai, little things every single day. It's like a lot of learning, wrestling. I had like a good wrestling, but now it's much better. So it's always something that even my jiu-jitsu is like really more effective right now because like I'm fighting to control, fighting to submit, fighting to like get a good position to punch, to hit. So it's make me like a more complete fighter, 100%.
Hmm. And so, like, there are like ways like that you can like approach to become a MMA fighter. Like you have like people like Khabib who rely only on one style, and then we have people like GSP who are like complete fighters. Which one do you think, like, do you see yourself becoming?
I think it's hard to say, but if I can get close of one of those two names that you you said, for me
Mhm.
would be great. But I think both of them are really complete because like Khabib has like a lot of pressure and like good takedowns, awesome jiu-jitsu. So for me, both of them are really complete. So I want to be a complete fighter. If I need to strike, I'll be able to strike. So that's what I want to do.
But aren't you like afraid, like okay, like you're so strong in this one area, and then now you're like completely neglecting jiu-jitsu, and then like you start to strike, and people are wondering like, why is he doing this? Like, why is he going into his weakness? Like, and it can cost the fight. Like Rodolfo didn't succeed too well, like in his last fight, because like as someone who's from outside, of course, like from outside, you can always like say things like, oh, why didn't he do this better, or why didn't he do that better? But um, it looked like he stood for too long. It cost him the fight.
Actually, the last fight he won, he submitted the guy, right? He got
Yeah,
the
but
submission
the one where he got submitted.
before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I mean, he has like 10 fights, and maybe he wasn't in his best day. Maybe he didn't do a good camp, but he, for me, is one of the best jiu-jitsu fighters out there. But he just had a bad fight. But the fight after that, he struck like 3 rounds with the guy and submitted in the third round. So it's part of the game, you know. It's hard to be like an undefeated fighter nowadays
Mhm.
because, especially in the high level, and he had like a bad fight, but right after that he overcome, got the victory, got the submission, strike a lot, use a lot of jabs. So it's it's of course, if he could submit in the first round, he would do it, but he had to wait for the right moment. The guy was a really good guy too, so it's, I think when we just expect to take the opponent down and submit, and if that doesn't happen, if we take it down and the opponent like gets up, and we can do that again. So if you're not comfortable standing, the frustration gonna take over, and if you're frustrated, you get tired. If you get tired, you're done. So
Mhm.
that's pretty much it. So I don't want to get frustrated in any fight. So that's why, like, if I can go to the ground, it's fine. So I'll
Mhm.
strike. So that's my mindset.
Yeah, like, can you talk about your mindset? Like, when you fight, man, like your success, like all your wins, all your victories, they come for a reason. Like, what is something that you can share with other athletes, other jiu-jitsu competitors and fighters that can learn from you? Like, what is it that makes Buchecha Buchecha?
I think I said before here, but I think one thing that I realized after the I started thinking like that changed a lot for me. I think everyone need to fight to find the reasons that you're doing it, right? Doesn't matter where you're doing. So for me, I don't choose to fight because of my parents, because of my family, because of my teammates, my team, my like community. No, I choose to fight because that's what I do. You know what I mean? I don't see myself without doing that. Of course, my whole life was jiu-jitsu. I couldn't see myself doing another thing besides of jiu-jitsu. So now I'm doing MMA, and something that I wake up and I have a reason to do it. So that's, a lot of people ask me when you're gonna retire. Then like I always say the same thing. If I retire, then I have to work. You know what I mean? For me, that's not that's, I can't call that work because it's something that I love, something so it brings me joy. So that's the reason that I do. I do because of myself. I choose to do that. I choose to put myself in the situation to be nervous because of the fight, maybe to have like a lot of doubts. But when the time comes, I know why I'm doing it, because after the victory, it makes everything worth. You know what I mean? You have a lot of doubts before the fight, before the competition, but after makes everything worth. And okay, I know why I'm doing it. That's why I'm still doing it. I love it. So
Mhm.
I found the right reasons, and that's why I do.
I want to touch up on that in a second. We were talking about like fighters like Rodolfo, and then there are like others like Damian Maya, Roger Gracie, like a lot of people that transitioned successfully from BJJ into MMA. Do you have any role models, and like who do you think did it the best?
Jiu-jitsu fighters that went to MMA, you mean?
Yes.
Oh man, so many like people that inspire me. I think one that for sure it's one guy that showed me that it's possible. It's Cara de Sapato. Actually, we are big friends. We are roommates. I'm living in his house right now. So man, he came, like, we used to close out all the jiu-jitsu tournaments together back in the day when we were brown belt, black belt, 2010, 2011. And he made the transition and did really good. Now he's a world champion. So he's one of the guys that inspiring the most. Then Demian Maia, Charles Oliveira, Fabrício Verdun, Rodolfo Vieira. So that's a lot of guys that are doing really good.
But do you have like a personal best?
Man, it's hard to pick one, but hard to pick one. The names that I said, I think they're all role models for me. And of course, impossible to not mention this name, but Rodrigo Minotauro and Ricardo Arona, guys that I really look up to, and because I always love the way that they fight, and they came for jiu-jitsu in the gi, and then went to Pride and fight MMA. So was like, yeah, of course, there is a lot of names that can be talking like forever, but I think that's the biggest names that I always look up to.
Of course, you also want your name besides their name, and you say like you do this because you have joy, because like you said, like if you don't do this, you have to do something else. Why not do this? But you're also on the same time, man, like you're building a legacy. And what is a legacy like for you, and what is Buchecha's legacy?
Yeah, it's a tough question, because like everybody asking me. I remember in jiu-jitsu I had this question a lot. What drives you, what motivates you, what makes you do what you do? And for a long time I didn't have the like perfect answer, but then I realized, like, I'm doing this because I wanna do what's never been done. I wanna be the first one to do something special, and I did in jiu-jitsu. Like I can say that I'm the only one in the planet that did something, you know what I mean? After I saw my name in the Guinness Book, I broke all the records. Like, I'm one with the most world titles as black belt. So it was something that amazing. So now, of course, I want to do something special too in MMA. That's why I'm putting so much work, and it's all big challenge that drives me to do that. So, of course, I'm working hard a lot, and I hope I can do something. Of course, if I want to get reach a good success in MMA, but if I can do at least a little bit like similar what I did in jiu-jitsu, I'll be really happy.
Okay, so for you it's also still like important, like to be still remembered. And no, man, like it is a good answer that you gave, and I like it a lot. Man, with that, man, like that's it with the interview. Like we're also like coming up on time, and I wish you best of luck, man. And everybody like who's watching this, follow Buchecha on Instagram. Follow watch his fight December 3rd. He's fighting in Singapore, one winter series, man. And good luck, man. Bring home the victory.
Thank you very much. It was a good talk, good chat with you. I hope we can talk more after the fight, and I hope with good news. And
yeah, let's really follow up, man. Let's follow up. Let's build that legacy, Buchecha. Let's go.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I like that.
All right. Have a good night, man.
Thank you very much. You too. Take care.